Our next speaker is Matthias Paisdzior. He is the head of North America at GotBag. And there he is, he's running to the, he's running here. But they have a great story. They are basically created the first backpack made completely of recycled ocean plastic. And that story was easy to tell online, where they can really engage with people. But offline, not so easy, and it was a little bit challenging, but Matthias is going to explain to us how they worked around it. So, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, hi, everyone. Thank you for sticking around till the end. I don't know if they made you stay here, but I really appreciate it. Obviously, a little less than what we had in the last days, but I will just give the same effort into this, obviously, and try to end strong. And we have billions of people online, obviously, plus my wife and my daughter just came in, which is really great. I never heard them.
I'm sorry, you need to get off stage and then the desk can come up.
Exactly, yes, my little daughter will take over. But I'm here today to tell you, as Lisa said already, a little bit about how we drive in-store traffic, how we use POP and merch to tell our brand story in retail. And before I will do that, I will give you a little background. I will start actually with, I give you a little background on GotBag in general, and we'll give you some facts about ocean plastic in general. Every single year, and that's an old number from 2016, so that number actually increased by now, about 8 million metric tons of plastic end up in our oceans every single year. And to put that into perspective, that's the equivalent of 57,000 blue whales of plastic that we dump into our oceans every single year. A big number, especially bad because 91% of the worldwide plastic waste is not being recycled. 75% of the garbage in our oceans is plastic waste. And all of that is especially bad with a growing number because by 2050, it's estimated that ocean plastic will actually outweigh all of the fish in our oceans. And why is that bad to all of us? Obviously, because 70% of the oxygen we breathe is produced by marine flora. More than just another sustainable fashion brand. For those of you who don't know who GotBag is, we do things a little bit different. We craft bags and backpacks and accessories from recycled ocean plastic. We're a sustainable fashion brand, but we do a lot of non-profit work as well. We work a lot with the Indonesian government. I will get back to that. We'll get to that in a second. We do a lot of work outside of what a regular fashion brand does. And yeah, who's GotBag? We've been founded in 2016, and after 2 years of extensive research and development, we launched the world's first backpack made of ocean plastic, 100%. The company is headquartered in the beautiful city of Mainz in Germany. Most people don't know it. It's close to Frankfurt. That's what most people know because that's where you fly into Germany usually. But we have offices now in Portland, Oregon. That's where I'm from as well. In Denver, Colorado. We're running our own ocean cleanup in Indonesia, where we work with, by now, a network of over 2,500 fishermen. And those fishermen catch plastic trash as bycatch. I will tell a little bit more about that in a second. And what started with, in 2016, one backpack, the world's first backpack made of ocean plastic, has been grown into a product portfolio today that includes bags, backpacks, and accessories for adults and kids. And we pride ourselves in our global partnerships, especially with big nonprofits like Sea Shepherd, the Coral Gardeners, Out and Known. We do big things with the Outside magazine, starting to do things with Surfrider Foundation, so that's a pretty cool thing to work together with like-minded brands and people and organizations that fight the same fight that we do. How did it all start? Our founder and the CEO of the company, he's a passionate sailor and surfer. He traveled the world to the most beautiful places, and they all had one thing in common: plastic polluted beaches and oceans. And so he figured that he somehow wants to be part of the solution instead of the problem, and thought about ways how he can turn all of that plastic trash into something useful. In the beginning, he engaged himself in cleanups in the Mediterranean Sea, and worked a lot with nonprofits, big ones like Sea Shepherd, for example, as well. And then more and more he learned, the more and more he learned about how different or specific countries on our planet are hit very hard by plastic trash in general. And one of those countries is Indonesia, which is the second biggest plastic polluter worldwide right after China. And not only because Indonesia is producing a lot of plastic trash, what is a way bigger issue is that especially first world countries like the US, Germany, Japan, they ship all their plastic trash or their trash in general to countries like Indonesia because it's cheaper for them to bring it over there, to pay the Indonesian government instead of dealing with it in our country. And they don't have a good waste management system over there. So that's the reason why, yeah, we looked into Indonesia then. At the same time, also in 2006, or for a longer time now, the demand for greener products was rising more and more and more. The consumer wants more and more sustainable products. And back then we realized that there's missing innovative product design that is dealing with that issue and is trying to be part of the solution instead of the issue. And that's how we came up with the idea of the world's first backpack made of ocean plastic. Easy as that. Not really. You couldn't just go online and Google back then and how to make a backpack made of ocean plastic. So as I said in the beginning, it took us about 2 years in research and development to come up with a 100% recycled ocean plastic backpack that is thoroughly sustainable and, yeah, is cleaning our oceans. And I want to show you a very quick video back in 2000, that's real footage from 2016 when the core group of the brand back then visited Indonesia the first time in the muck where we have our cleanup now, just to show you the extent of plastic trash that we saw when we got there. So yeah, that's actual real footage, as I said, back in 2016 when we got to Demak, Java, Indonesia, and so we figured we should start an ocean cleanup in that area and help to get rid of all that plastic trash. And the way it works is now, as I said in the beginning, we have a network of, by now, over 2,500 fishermen, and those fishermen go out there every single day and catch fish, but what they also catch a lot as bycatch is plastic trash. So back in the days, they would either dump it or burn it when they got back to land because they didn't have any use for it. Obviously, bad solution or not a solution at all. So we found a way to work together with those fishermen. They bring it back to land. We take it out of their hands. We sort it. We put it into warehouses. I will show you a little bit later what that looks like. And we weigh it by the pound. The fishermen get paid for that then, so they get an additional income as well. We make sure that we pay those fishermen less for the plastic than we pay them for fish, because otherwise we would destroy a complete socioeconomic system over there. They would dump more plastic to sell more plastic to us. Yeah, long story short, we use that then to turn that into our products. We have our raw material. It's a win-win-win situation. Those fishermen get an additional income, as I said. We clean up the oceans, and we craft our own raw material, the ocean plastic, to be fully vertically integrated and not buy plastic or fabric from anyone else. And yeah, so this is how we actually turn trash into treasure. So all of our products, everything that you see here, for example, was once trash floating in our oceans. We don't have any virgin plastic in our products or anything. It's all trash that once was floating in the Indonesian ocean. And because videos speak more than 1,000 words, I would like to show you another video about a day in the life of one of our fishermen that we work with.
Nama saya Bapak Junaidi, saya nelayan dari Kedung Mutih. Saya juga sudah mengikuti pengumpulan sampah plastik dari Good Bag sejak 1 tahun yang lalu. Dan ini istri saya sebagai binaan dari program Good Bag, karena kami sudah ajak teman-teman nelayan untuk mencari plastik di laut yang nantinya dikumpulkan di istri saya. Saya mencari ikan di dekat hutan mangrove, nyari ikan belana. Selain ikan belana, saya menemukan sampah plastik di sepanjang bibir pantai. Daerah ini juga sekarang sudah ada sekitar 70 nelayan yang telah mengikuti.
Dengan adanya program ini bisa memberikan sampah dari laut dan para nelayan juga merasa senang dan bisa membersihkan sampah dari lingkungan sekitar. Masyarakatnya juga senang dan antusias dan harapannya semoga kedepannya bisa berlanjut terus bersih desa kita.
Yeah, to tie back into what I said in the very beginning, being more than just another sustainable fashion brand, we do more than just taking plastic out of the ocean. We also create jobs in Indonesia for, as you saw, the wives usually of those fishermen who are usually not capable to work, or they don't have any job offerings for them. So we create a whole industry for them to work over there as well. They oversee our warehouses in Indonesia. They sort and clean the plastic trash, help us to do all of that. We actually engage, we have a team in Indonesia as well who gives workshops on the threats of plastic pollution to the local people in Indonesia on the North Coast, because they don't know how bad plastic pollution actually is in the end. So we're doing a lot of this stuff as well. We actually, with knowledge, for our Western knowledge that we have from Germany and the States, we help to build waste infrastructure systems as well. Work a lot now closely with the Indonesian government, and yeah, we actively support the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. What that means is, yeah, we fight poverty by creating new jobs in those areas. We help with quality education, as I said, sorry. We give workshops, a lot of those. We help to clean water and sanitate our water. We fight the fight for responsible consumption and production. We fight the fight against climate, or we take climate action. We fight for life below water, and we use a lot of partnerships for our goals. This is the very first collection center that we built in Indonesia, in Denmark. As you see, a lot of plastic trash there. We have 5 of those now. And we finished one just about 2 weeks ago that is 5 times the size of that, and it's already piling up with plastic trash. So there's still a lot of work to do. People always ask me, like, what do you guys do when there's no more plastic to take out of the ocean? I don't think, sadly, that's an issue that will ever happen. But what is also very important is that we take care of recyclables and non-recyclables. What does that mean? So out of all the plastic trash that we're getting out of the ocean, only 11% at the moment we can use for our products, which is the PET part. This is what our products are made of mainly. The rest is 22%, as you can see, is PP and HDPE. It's thicker plastic. It's usually what shampoo bottles are made out of. They must be mechanically recycled. It's way more expensive. We don't have the technology for that yet, but we make sure that this is properly recycled. And the biggest part actually is 67% are residual materials. For example, beverage cartons, like milk cartons, and they have coatings and adhesives around them. And it's very, very, very difficult and expensive to recycle those, so that's why people don't usually recycle them. But we found a local energy supplier who creates or generates energy by burning those in a sustainable way instead of using fossil fuels. So that's always something that I like to mention as well, that we don't just take the plastic that we can use and we dump the rest again, we take care of everything. Yeah, once again, this is how we turn trash into treasure with our network of fishermen. We clean the PET part, shred it into pellets. The rest, as I said, is fed into suitable recycling solutions. We process the PET, turn it into a high-performance yarn, weave it into a fabric, coat it with a PFC-free coating to make it 100% waterproof. And yeah, as you can see at the bottom, that's basically how it works from trash to our treasure. And to show you just quickly, to visualize that, this is what it looks like in our own facility in Indonesia. How we break down the plastic into pellets. That's what it looks like in the next step. Turn it into little pellets. My daughter is happy. And turn that into the fabric and create our beautiful backpacks with that. One more thing that I would like to mention as well is that we stand for a circular economy. It's what Jesse from Good Life said yesterday as well. A lot of brands, they don't think further. We encourage our consumers that after a backpack, after a couple of years is worn out, don't just throw it away, bring it back to us, ship it back to us. We pay for shipping or bring it to one of our retailers in our partner network. And we can actually then recycle the materials as well to stand for a full-on circular economy. Yeah. And what did we achieve over the last 6 years by now? Up to date, we recovered over 500,000 pounds of plastic from our oceans. We're working closely with the Indonesian government to build waste infrastructure system, as I said, and we're creating a new socio-economic industry in Denmark. We're planning to extend our cleanup activities to the Philippines, Malaysia, and we're already building trash booms in India as well. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a barrier within a river that catches plastic trash before it ever ends up in the ocean. We sell, because obviously the topic of this whole event is the retail summit, we sell by now our products in more than 500 stores worldwide, with alone 100 of these in North America. And we started a movement and built a community with over 340,000 followers on Instagram. That's what I'm very proud of, that we have a lot of people who really love our mission and stay for that and support us. And yeah, that's all obviously, as you can see, a story that is easy to tell and fun to tell and a good story to tell, and especially online, because we have a lot of different touch points where we can get the consumer. We do it over Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Google, on our website, via email marketing, Snapchat, SMS, Instagram, all of that. But also we want to be more than just an online and D2C brand, so our goal was always to get into the retail world as well, because it's a very valuable tool to grow the brand and to reach even more people. And so question we had obviously when we started last year in August in the States was like, how do we tell that story online? How does the customer understand that the products that we have are unique and more than just bags, backpacks, and accessories? Because as you can see in that picture, for example, good-looking products, good-looking backpacks, but someone goes into a store and doesn't really know what is so unique about the brand, why should I care more than just about any other backpack? So what is the most important thing to us is to create unique and strong POP material to be able to tell that story. And what that means is we have a bunch of different points that we always focus on. Number one is always create an experience with limited space. What that means is, for example, when we go to trade shows and present the brand, we have a big booth and we have a lot of experience that we can show customers how everything works. But we don't have our own retail stores. We sell to retailers all over the country, especially to smaller like surf shops and everything. So we have very limited space where we can actually tell our story. So we have to come up with like creative ways to still be able to tell that story. And what we have is, for example, just one out of many examples, what you see at the bottom are kind of what we call our experience glasses that are all over the store. People can actually go over there, open them. It starts with like real plastic trash that we took out in Indonesia from our cleanup, and just to see how the process from plastic trash turns at some point into treasure. That's very important for us. We create touch points everywhere we can in our store. As I said, online it's easy to have different touch points, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. How do we do that in stores? That means that all of our products have something on them, like for example, as you see the hang tags, like the doorknob tags, that are a very simple thing, and someone in our team came up with it, and I love it so much because every single retailer we go to, they are blown away with that, how simple that is. And no one else is doing it. And you can immediately tell, okay, it's the world's first backpack made of ocean plastic. That's awesome. I want to look into that. We actually took, and we have that on different products all over the store and in different sizes and variations. And we took that a step further, which means we started leveraging technology, obviously, with that. So the ones we're using now have QR codes on them and NFC codes on them, so you can actually just go there with your phone. It immediately pops you over to a website where the whole story is told with videos and everything. It's not our website because we also don't want to take the traffic from that retail store over to our website because the retailers wouldn't be happy with that, so it's just telling the story. We always try to be engaging and not party poopers because the world is already dark enough. What does that mean is I always compare it, and that's an analogy that my wife actually made, is in the very beginning when the whole vegan thing started, like vegan people were very strict about it. They made you feel bad. If you're not a vegan, you're a bad person, basically. And it's kind of like the same thing that it is with sustainable products. You want to engage people. You want to show them that it's a good thing to do that, to be part of it, to feel good about it, and not be like, oh, you're a bad person because you don't recycle. We want to be engaging and not a party poop, and that means all of our stuff, all our flyers that we have in stores are very like engaging and funny and witty. That also ties into the next one, turn the customer into a marketeer. What does that mean is we always try to have the smartest and wittiest merch. We give out a ton of flyers and stickers to every single retailer that have like funny messages on them. Like for example, one of my favorites is just like, get the fork out of my ocean. And it's just like a little sticker, and all of our retailers tell me that they love it and they need more and more and more because people, they just go in the store, they see them, they want to take it home, they put it on their laptops, obviously. It says gotback.com on them. So we turn them into our marketeers. Also, Gotback is the retailer's best friend. That is for us important, which means that all of our POP material that we offer is for free to all the retailers, no matter how tall or small they are. It obviously is a big investment, and it diminishes or lowers our margin, but it's definitely worth it because they are willing to support us. They put it in there, they sell our product, and it's all about the reorders, obviously. So it pays off in the long term, and then also create a benefit for the retailer and the customer. What does that mean? We give every retailer a chance of one giveaway per month where we give out the product for free. People can sign up when they go into a store, so that's how we also collect email addresses for online as well again. We offer loyalty bonuses, the circular economy, as I said in the beginning. And what I like to call is like be the hottest babe in the club, which means that we want to be the brand that every retailer loves to sell, that they don't sell a Decine or a Herschel backpack, they want to sell Gotback because Gotback is awesome, Gotback is selling a cool story, they support me, and it's working really well. I hear that a lot, that we love telling your story, we love selling your products, and that's what we try to accomplish. Additionally, we also do a lot of retailer education, so we make sure that the staff knows everything about Gotback. We have actually one dedicated person within our team who's our customer success person for retail, and she's doing basically every single day, she's in contact with other retailers, she's onboarding other retailers, no matter how small or big they are, to make sure they always understand the story and that they're passionate about us. We offer a wholesale library where every single retailer has access to the latest information that we always have and all of our POP material to make it easy for them. And then the last thing is, as I said, is create passion, which means that we create a network of micro sales reps basically because they're passionate about our product, they love to sell it, they as I said, they don't sell a Herschel or a Decine or whatever, they sell a Gotback in store and they push us and they turn into our micro sales reps. And that's that. That's usually something I say at the end of other summits is like find your own trash and turn it into a treasure. And thanks for sticking around. That was me. If you ever want to get in touch with me.
Let's see, do we have any questions for Matthias? Oh, got a few hands going up. Okay.
Do we want to do it in German?
Great presentation. We could actually do it in German.
Yeah.
My question is, because you're a German company, did you do this retail POPs? Are they the same in Germany? So if I would go on a global trip and I go into a retailer in Germany, I would see you and recognize you. Do you have any experience what you're selling here that it worked already in Germany?
Yes, so actually we have our team in the States and our team in Germany has very close contact to each other. We talk every single day, especially our retail team. So we share all of our information and we tried out stuff that worked in Germany well, that works in the States good, and we blend it together basically. So actually we're at a point where whenever you go into a store and it sells Gottberg, it has the same POP material. We sell a lot in Northern Europe as well, so all the English material that we're using is the same one that we're using in the States. But obviously we also have like stuff in German, but at the end of the day, the experience and all of that is the same route that we're going in all countries. Yeah, more or less aligned, and we learn a lot from each other, and so yeah, trying to work close with each other.
Two questions. First of all, do you know roughly how many bottles go into a single backpack?
It's hard to count that, or we could actually do that, but we don't count it in bottles. But what we do is every single backpack, the big ones, the roll tops that you saw at the beginning, they recovered and recycled 7.7 pounds of ocean plastic. So they don't weigh 7.7 pounds, but they recovered and recycled 7.7 pounds. That would be a little bit heavy for a backpack. We turned it into, and it's actually lightweight. Then afterwards, it turns into a 2.2 pound backpack. So for our products, the biggest product that we have is our weekender, our duffel bag, and we recycle 9.9 pounds for that weekender. And then, as I said, for this one, it goes down to 7.7 pounds, and all the way down, we have little shower bags and stuff, which pour moi will be interested in. The recycles, I think, 0.7 pounds of ocean plastic. So we don't count it in bottles, but in pounds.
And second question, any plans to extend into apparel or other products, and also to, I don't know if it's proprietary, the actual thread itself, but to sell the thread to other manufacturers?
Both good questions. Number one is we always look into different products. The issue with, we talked about it also to turn it, for example, into actual clothing, apparel and everything. But the main issue we're having with that is that when you wash a shirt made from recycled ocean plastic, it washes out microplastics again, which will end up in the ocean again. So that's why we will never do recycled plastic shirts. But we're starting to recycle nylon as well at the moment from fishing nets. So that's a different thing, which we will probably turn into maybe apparel as well. We're looking into shoes actually at the moment as well. We talked yesterday about nothing new. They do something similar, but it's not made from ocean plastic. And so right now we're trying to build out our backpack and accessory side of things, but with the nylon thing coming in, we're able to do more things. And then second question was about selling the yarn or the fabric. I get that question often, especially when I'm at trade shows and conferences from other bigger brands, and they come over to us and say, like, can we buy your fabric because we want to do something with it? We are open to that, and we want to do that actually in the future. That's why we're also trying to extend our cleanup operations in Indonesia or in the Philippines, Malaysia, and everything. The issue we're having right now is a good issue. We're so successful that we just that we use it all for our own products. That's why we can't even sell it at the moment.
Hi. So first I want to say I'm very excited to learn about your brand and then the t-shirt company, because my husband is very concerned about ocean waste and also very particular about t-shirts. So I know where I'll be shopping this weekend. But you know, thinking about selling this, I'm curious if you find any correlation to, let's just call it sales velocity in certain regions in the US based on the depth of local recycling programs. So for example, I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Wonderful place, great people. One of the main pastimes, though, is either shopping or college football, right? There are tons of people who would buy these bags because they thought they were cool, but there's not as much robust recycling programs there as in here. Whenever I go home or my family likes to vacation in Florida, it's hard to find recycling containers when you're out and about. Or you ask people, oh, do you recycle? And they're like, oh, sometimes. Versus California, I know these must sell very well. Do you find it takes more education for people who aren't used to recycling as much and therefore may not care or understand the impact of recycling from the oceans?
Also a very good question. And yes, we see big differences between different parts of the country. online and offline as well. It's like, for example, where we're the strongest is the Pacific Northwest. They care very much about sustainability. I'm from Oregon. We have a big like recycling system and all of that. As you said, same with California. The Northeast is very strong for us as well, New York area up until Maine and all of that. The Southeast is very strong for us as well, which is actually Florida, even though they don't have these good recycling systems, but they do have a long coastline, so they see a lot of plastic trash on the beach. So that is very good for us. And then you have like the whole South, where people don't care so much about the story, really. We see that difference. What in those areas, they care more about, oh, this backpack looks cool. It is waterproof, it is lightweight, it's very durable. I want to buy it for that, and it recycles ocean plastic. That's cool as well, but it's more about the product itself than it is about the story, really, in those territories. So there is definitely a difference between all of these. The same goes with online sales, really, where it's even easier, obviously, to cater our ads than to, for example, really on the coast, we focus mostly on showing ads that tell the story about it and everything, while the middle of the country, we just highlight more or less the key features of that's a rad bag, that is, you can take it everywhere and it's going to be durable and everything. It's a good question, and yes, we see big differences.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. That was great.
Yes.